Everyone wants to know what their industrial building is worth heading into 2026, and some owners think values are falling, some think they're soaring, and some are still waiting for 2021 to come back. Sadly, it's not. The reality is simple. Your building is worth exactly what it functionally supports, not what you hope it's worth, not based upon old comps, and not what your neighbor sold for 3 years ago. Power, loading, clear height, ventilation, expansion, zoning, that's what drives value in 2026. I'm Susan, that commercial realtor. I specialize in industrial and office real estate across Burlington and the GTA. Built for business, backed by data and negotiating with bite. Today, we're talking about what drives industrial value heading into 2026 and why relying on old valuation logic gets expensive fast. Let's get to it. The biggest valuation mistake owners make is they look at an old appraisal, a neighbor's sale, a broker postcard, a 2021 comp, or the building next door. None of these tell you your true value. The number one mistake owners make is assuming market values buildings the same way it did 5, 10, or 20 years ago. It doesn't. Today, industrial value must factor in one thing: functionality. In 2026, your building is worth more or less depending on how well it supports modern operations. Value is driven by functionality, not nostalgia. This is why older buildings now have a huge divide. Functional equals premium, obsolete equals discounted. Age doesn't matter, functionality does. So what does functionality mean specifically when it comes to Burlington, Halton, and to the 2026 market? Comps do help, but these 8 factors will affect value. Power capacity. The biggest driver heading into 2026, buildings with 600 to 2,000 amps are in high demand. 200 to 400 amps, moderate. Less than 200 amps, well, those are discounted unless potential to upgrade is real. Power equals productivity, productivity equals rent, rent equals value. Loading and truck flow. 2026 tenants demand multiple docks with excellent yard flow, which means proper maneuverability and adequate yard depth. Inefficient loading kills deals and valuations. Clear heights and bay sizes. Clear heights matter more than ever. 24 feet and up, that's a premium. 18 to 22 feet is functional. Under 18 feet becomes a challenge unless everything else is exceptional. And the old 30 by 40 bay standard, tenants are done playing forklift Tetris. Age and modernization. Is your building envelope energy efficient? If your building was built between 1980 and 2000, the question is, have you modernized? Power, lighting, HVAC, insulation. Upgraded equals strong value. Original condition, that's discounting. HVAC cooling and capacity. With more M&P users, ventilation matters. Poor air quality, that lowers the value. Office ratio, too much office, that's a value drop. Most tenants want 10 to max 20% office. Scale back overbuilt office space. Expansion or development potential. Unused land or room to add loading, those are premiums. Add in zoning flexibility and you have a jackpot. Overbuilt, maxed out lots, those face a discount. Location and access. Close to the QEW 403, ease of ingress to the building, labor pools, public transit. Burlington's industrial corridor is tight and that scarcity helps you. So let's talk about the comp sheets everyone loves. Comps today are outdated, misleading, and even functionally incomplete. 2 buildings with the same square footage can have completely different values, sometimes millions apart, and that can be due to power, age, loading, ceiling height, HVAC, yard, tenant demand, just to name a few. Comps used to be simple. Now they require functional analysis and adjustments to get to the true value, not just the math. This is where 90% of owners get the wrong number in their head. So those buyers, they're not just paying for square footage, they're paying for future operational ability. Here's what excites 2026 buyers. Buildings that can support automation. Good power with room to expand that power. Modern loading with efficient yard layouts. Buildings ready and eligible for the M&P immediate expensing. And here's what they run from. Less than 18-foot clear with no power, no yard, environmental nightmares, 1980s electrical panels, and dead-end truck access. User buyers want ready-to-run, not project buildings. That demand drives value. And as for the game changer, the 100% immediate expensing for M&P buildings, well, this means buyers can deduct power upgrades, switchgear, ventilation, automation infrastructure, workflow improvements, all in year one. This increases functional value and reduces acquisition hesitation. It also boosts demand for older buildings with strong bones. Underpowered buildings with realistic upgrade potential, especially where the process has already been explored. If your building can meet the M&P threshold, your value just improved. If you want to increase your building's value before you sell, here are the fastest ways to improve that number. Upgrade your power, even partially. Tenants and buyers will pay for that capability. Fix your loading, reconfigure yards, widen turning radiuses, remark lanes, pavement upgrades, yard drainage. Refresh the lighting, LED and automation-friendly retrofits, they matter. Improve ventilation, especially for M&P tenants or buyers. Reduce excess office. Tenants don't want to pay for what they won't use. Get a Phase 2 ESA done, so if there is any environmental risk, you deal with it early. A completed Phase 2 saves time, reduces buyer friction, and filters out tire kickers before they become a problem. Address small CapEx issues, roof patches, door repairs, HVAC tune-ups. Buyers pay more when they see less risk. Prepare a modernization report. This is a simple document showing power, HVAC, roof, loading, zoning, expansion potential. This makes buyers confident and values rise. The question owners are asking, is 2026 a good year to sell? If your building is functional, yes, buyers are active. If your building is obsolete, also yes, buyers want value add. If your building needs upgrades, yes, because M&P expensing helps them justify the purchase. The only bad time to sell? Waiting for 2021 to come back. It's not coming back. 2026 is about clarity, functionality, and strategy. If this helped you price reality instead of optimism, subscribe, like, and follow. Burlington's specific market insight drops weekly. Industrial value is no longer about square footage, it's about what your building can support for the next decade. Built for business, backed by data, and negotiating with bite. I'm Susan, that commercial realtor. Now that you know, what are you going to do about it?